Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampACrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' demonstrator. Thanks for joining me for a live video tutorial today. We are going to do one of our Totally Awesome cards that we did in class the other week. And this one is kind of a fun fold / pop-up card. We did 5 of them, so I'll be kind of sharing those with you over the next couple of weeks. So with this class, we just used the Totally Awesome stamp set, and then we used this designer paper. We added a few products here and there, but I wanted to kind of show you this designer paper. So in the catalog, this is one of our majorly featured suites. So we have a whole suite of products starting on page 48. This is a great birthday set too. So in the suite, we have a stamp set, coordinating dies. We have like a little turtle shell embossing folder. We have some hexagons in different shades of greens and blues. And then we have this great designer paper. One thing I love about this is that it's got turtles doing all different things. We have a sheet of background images we can use. And then the other side is just kind of nice little, we have some generic parties, stripes, we have music, and some turtle shell prints. But the turtles are so cute. We have beekeepers and bird watchers. We have like pool, beach themed. I love the spa turtle with the towel on its head. We have musicians, we have birthday turtles, and we have some in the park turtles. So lots of really cute things in here. Now, we also have these type of products in our scrapbooking section. So we have a whole Turtley Sweet scrapbooking kit, which has designer paper. It has some specialty designer paper in there. We have sticker sheets, cardstock, and those may be die cuts. So we have a scrapbook kit here. And then we even have it featured in a third section in the catalog. So with this one, we have kind of a partial scrapbooking kit. We have the designer paper, just like we do in the suite. Then we have the one sticker sheet that comes from the scrapbooking kit. So if you wanted to add and do a little bit more with your scrapbooking kit, you can add this. And then it comes with some coordinating two-tone cardstock. We also have another stamp set, not really turtle, it's just summery, fun, smiles and sunshine. We're going to use this on another project next week. So love this one, perfect for scrapbooking because it can go for any time. Okay, so those are all the awesome things, and then I wanted to show you a quick look at the paper up close. This is all I have left. I think I've had 3 or 4 packs of this. This is all I have left of the background sheet. I love the wedding one. We've got little bees, a picnic, and then a few little accent strips. Okay, so here is our bird watcher, beekeeper, gardener, kind of our outdoorsy thing. We have these great multicolored stripes on that side. Here we have all our musicians. We have 4 different ones. We have a banjo, a trumpet, accordion, and a drum, and some of them go different directions too, which is super cute. Then we have this one in kind of shaded spruce for the turtle shell print. And then this is our picnic turtles. We have a bicycle rider, we have an ice cream eater, we've got a guy just laying on his back, and then we also have all kinds of, watermelon and birds and picnic baskets and all kinds of fun little pieces on there. And then we have this more green, we're going to use this one today, turtle shell pattern. And then here's our beach ones. These are my favorite. I'm going to show you these last because we're going to save the best for last. These are our birthday turtles. We're going to use them today. So we have a guy with the balloon. We just have a generic. He could be holding ice cream cones. So we have party hats, ice creams, and cakes, and balloons in between the turtles. Then we have our chef turtle. We have a gift-giving turtle, and then the turtle holding the balloon. Now this guy could be on his back or he could be standing up. But the dies do cut out the standing up turtle. And then on the back is the music notes. So we're going to use that on another card with our musicians. And then the beach turtles. These are my favorite. This guy has got his water wings and his inner tube on. I love the spa turtle. This is just my favorite turtle. He's so kooky. He's holding a drink, got a towel, got a couple towels on him. And then we have our grilling turtle right here. So we have in between, we've got sandcastles, starfish, shells, crabs, and beach balls and a grill. So I love that. That's a good one for Dad. And you could put him in the picnic area. You don't have to put him on the beach. Super cute. And then just a fun like little birthday stripe right there. So I think this, now I thought they were a little weird at first. They're still a little weird, but they are growing on me, and I just think they are so funny. Okay, so let's get started with our project. I've got to grab my Garden Green ink, which is the one thing I forgot. And we are going to make a pop-up card. Now I kind of got ahead of myself and started already, but I stopped here. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to wait for the video. So let me show you. I cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, and I'll post the measurements on my blog. But what I did was ignore this designer paper. Okay, pretend that's not there. So what I did was cut from the corner of 1 inch and 1 inch down to 1 inch below the bottom, over 1 inch, 1 inch, and then right here I just scored it at 1 inch. So I'd make a little flap. And then I scored this flap at 2 3/4 inches. So that's halfway down my card. Then I took a piece of the designer paper, 4 by 5 1/4, so just a regular little panel we put on here. And I cut it at 7/8 inch all the way around. So I have a 7/8 inch border. And then that fits right on top of this panel and lets my little flap show through. So 1 inch on the card base and 7/8 inch on the designer paper. We did this on this top panel. Now the reason is because we're going to fold this, and this is going to open from the top. So we have our flap opens on the bottom. So it's kind of like a pocket card, but we're going to, it's a slider pop-up. Keep forgetting all the things I need. I need a punch. So it's kind of a slider pop-up card. All right, so I hope everybody's caught up. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I'm going to cut a little notch or punch a notch with the 1 3/4 inch punch, just a little bit above here. Okay, we're not going to use that. And what I'm going to do is do my inside mechanism. So I have 3 pieces of white. I've got 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's going to be my piece that I slide. I did this out of thick white, so it'd be stronger. Then I have a piece of 3 by 4, and that's what we're going to put our inside sentiment on. And then this is 2 by 2, and it's scored halfway across, okay, at 1 inch. So what I want to do is I'm going to put this here. This is going to show through my window. So I want to make sure that that's going to show through my window. And I'm going to stamp. And because these things stamp so nicely, I feel like I can go ahead and glue this in before I stamp. So famous last words, right? Okay. So in here, I'm going to stamp hooray. We're going to do ours. We're only stamping 2 things. Stamp hooray, just kind of near the bottom, not too far down. Right like that. Perfect. And then on this one, it's gonna slide up. So I don't want it right at the top, but I'm gonna do Hope Your Birthday is Totally Awesome right about, I don't know, an inch down, something like that. And that is all I'm stamping. All right, so in the top of my slider, I want to punch a hole for ribbon. And what I'm going to do is just kind of center it to kind of help me decide where to put that little punch for the ribbon. And did I get that punch? No, I didn't. I left them all in my baskets. Okay, so I'm using we've got a little trio pack of punches for ribbon, and I'm using this little slot punch. Okay, let's make sure we have this centered. And we're gonna just punch a little slot right there. Okay, I just do that for a little guide to kind of help me with placement. All right, now I'm going to take this ribbon. This is in the suite. And I'm not going to pull it tight. I'm just going to put it through because there's not much space there. So you want to make sure you're not pulling on that. And then, so I just put it through the hole and folded it in half. Fold it in half. Folded it? Felled it? No. Folded it in half, and then I'm taking some linen thread and we're going to just tie it in a bow right at the base of that ribbon, just to give it a little more stability, and then we don't have to have a big thick knot right there. Okay, we can kind of adjust our bow sizes, and we're going to do a little trimming. We don't need a huge tab right there. My ribbon scissors. And let's get rid of a little bit of that extra. Okay. So this is our slider. So this is going to pop out, but what I want to do is pop this up with it when it pulls out. So what we're going to do is fold this little piece in half, and we're going to adhere it with the fold side right at the bottom of our flap like this. Okay, you can use liquid glue, you can use tear and tape, whatever you want to use. It's not going to be a whole lot of pressure on it, even though we're pulling. So I'm just using some seal adhesive. Just ignore my Band-Aid. I took a chunk out of my finger when I was making salsa yesterday. Okay. All right, now I want to take this and I'm going to put this right here so that the bottom of my pullout is right even with the bottom of my window. If you can see that. You see that right there with the bottom of the window. And I'm going to make sure, well, I'm going to bring it up a little bit because I want it even flush with the top, right in the middle. That's where I'm going to put it. Okay. Now down here, it's not quite to that. So what I'm going to do is just put my paper here, or my adhesive, and it's going to stick to this. I don't want to put it right here because I don't want it sticking here. I only want it sticking to my slider. All right, now if it worked, it will pull up. Look at that, it just pulls it right up. So cute. All right, now we're going to close up our pocket. So for this, I am going to use a little tear and tape. Make sure that nothing sticks to my slider. So you see it's a little bit, it okay if it's a little off right there. That's not going to matter. Well, I really want it straight though. Hello. I'm sticking to everything. Okay, that's better. It was a little off. Okay, I know it looks weird and everything looks upside down because our card is upside down. It's a top folding card, or a top opening, as opposed to a bottom opening. And look, isn't that cute? Hooray! Hope your birthday's totally awesome. And you still have room to write right there, or you can write right there. Either place. Now let's decorate the front. Okay, I took a piece of garden green and I used the turtle embossing folder. And this is the one that's 3 inches wide. And I did cut a 1/4 inch off the bottom because I didn't want it coming up all the way to my little notch there. So I cut off a little bit. Now I'm putting adhesive just on this bottom panel. Not the top, just the bottom half. You can use glue, you can use whatever. I'm using seal adhesive. All right. I'm going to center this right at the bottom there. Give that a good press so when I pull it up, it pops up and gives a fun little background to our birthday people. So I've cut out the chef with the cake, and then the guy giving the present, and then one of the balloons. So we're going to pop this up. I've got another sheet of dimensionals I'm trying to use up all the edges for. Or all the edges. For what? For, I don't know. Oh, whatever I'm doing up here. Okay, and then our chef needs some dimensionals. And we'll put one more over here. Okay. And our balloon. I had a piece that fell off before. Let's just do a big chunk right there. Okay, I'm going to pop him up and kind of put him behind the guy holding the gift. And let's add a couple of our hexagons. Let's do these dark green. They kind of tie in with the shell. So I'm going to I'll do a big one. We'll do a small one. I don't have a whole lot of room on here. Maybe we'll do one more. We'll put one right up there. And that's it. Isn't that cute? I love this card. I did see another demonstrator, so I used her layout, but I did change up all my goodies here. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that project today. We have our new, well, not yet. Our new catalog's coming out in September, but next month, starting on the 5th, we're going to have a 15% sale off select in-color products. So you want to take advantage of that because it's a good deal. If you're in Arkansas or Missouri, close to me, we have our tax-free weekend this coming weekend. It's on all the adhesives, grid paper, markers, blends, watercolor pencils, all that type of school supply-ish type thing. So make sure to take advantage of that. Everyone who places an order, $50 or more each month, or for a particular month, will get a kit of our card class projects for that month. So good deal, lots of free stuff. All right, let's see who we've got on. We've got Sue. Hi, Sue. I've got to stand up so I can see who's on. Christy Hello. Thanks for joining me today. All right, I hope you enjoyed this fun fold. I will post measurements and supplies on my blog. And I will see you all next time. All right, bye-bye.